In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most beneficent, the most merciful, all praises are due to Allah, and universal salutations upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and companions. Dear members, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am pleased to present the President's report for IMASA's 2023 AGM. The report aims to provide an overview of the important activities and challenges addressed by our organization during the period under review. That is September 2022 to September 2023. Both secretarial and treasurer's reports will be tabled later. So the constitutional review, that was one of our main key challenges during this period. And our organization's constitution, as you know, serves as a guiding document for our operations and decision-making processes. The last constitutional review was done in 2009. And the resolutions that were adopted over the past few years since then were collated and integrated into the Constitution. These resolutions, together with other amendments, provide more clarity in terms of IMA structure and governance processes. These amendments also ensure that our Constitution remains robust and is compliant with the statutory requirements. The amendments were emailed to all members on the 1st of September 2023. I believe that the constitutional amendments are in line with what we set out to achieve, and that it should protect and guide the IMA for many years to come, inshallah. Okay, next slide, human resources. Another area of focus for us was the centralization and standardization of our HR. For this purpose, we've enrolled the services of a HR specialist called the Labor Specialist Employer Solutions that are based in KwaZulu-Natal, and they are currently under retainer from the Beit al-Nur Trust. They're currently dealing with HR matters of the organization, and they're ensuring that all our HR contracts are standardized and tailored to the specific needs of our organization. The POPI Act compliance. Just like to note that the President is the principal information officer for IMASA, and he's ultimately the person responsible for any breach in the POPI Act compliance. The incoming President will need to be registered for this. All the formulated compliance documents are accessible on the newly created digital repository. Financially, alhamdulillah, despite the financial constraints of the last few years, which impacted our donors, the current financial situation of IMASA has improved. The details are in the Treasurer's report. Our bursary fund, as you heard last night, we're currently supporting 13 students, and we will require 785,000 rands to continue to support them next year. I'd like to reiterate that we do accept Zakah and Lillah, and that we can provide an 18A certificate. And there obviously will be an urgent appeal for donations for this purpose. The convention, as part of our intention to establish regional ties and a network between IMAs in Southern Africa, we have fully sponsored 2 delegates from the newly formed Islamic Healthcare Association of Malawi to attend our convention. Publications, our calendars, which has historically been something that we've been providing our members for all the years. Alhamdulillah, this for 2024, Beit al-Nur Trust shall be our sole sponsor, and they will use this as a means of advertising and highlighting the IMA's activities. And delivery of the calendars, which has always been an issue, will be at branch specific. So in other words, each branch will decide how the members will receive it. In the past, we had a lot of difficulties with members receiving their calendars. IMASA, which is our Journal of Islamic Medical Association of South Africa, we've applied for accreditation with the Department of Higher Education. This was declined due to certain criteria. We are in the process of re-establishing the publications committee so this can be addressed. Membership, alhamdulillah, our membership has increased by 9% from last year. And this includes the 2022 graduates. Only, although my slide says 42%, it actually as of now, 44% of members are paid up. Although the collection of fees has improved, it still poses a major challenge for us. And we also have a major challenge of retaining new graduates. Membership fees for 2024 needs to be decided upon. We've had no increase for 2023. Ahmed Al-Qadi Hospital, this year's dividend payout, which we received now in September, was utilized to purchase a property in Cape Town to provide the Cape Town branch with a permanent office and a training facility, and with the ultimate aim of developing a dialysis unit. The IMA Beit al-Nur Trust, we've recently re-elected the current IMA Beit al-Nur Trust representatives to the board of directors of the hospital for the next 2 years. FEMA, this year's FEMA meeting is in Malaysia in October. The incoming president will be attending, inshallah. South Africa has been assigned to host the next year's FEMA meeting. Our media desk continues to be active in addressing not only medical issues but socio-political causes too. We have received a lot of media attention from our response and objection to the Department of Health circular with a directive for new nurse uniform policy, in which wearing of the headscarves is prohibited while on duty. We have also endorsed the campaign with the United Ulama Council of South Africa and other organizations to encourage all to vote in the upcoming elections to effect positive change. IT website is being updated and has been launched at the convention, and you'll see on your brochure the new website address on the front page. The Zoom account has been renewed and the cost to be covered by the Beit al-Nur Trust and is available for use by all the branches. So even the smaller branches have access to the use of the Zoom account. A password-protected digital cloud-based repository has been created to store all our documents, such as our constitution, our standard operating procedures, our POPI Act compliance documents, previous NEC and council meetings and reports. This will provide an accessible central source for our documents. Projects, the existing and new projects and activities, both nationally and at branch level, continue to run smoothly, and the details of which are to be found in, will be found in the Secretary's report hereafter. Due to the increase and prevalence of mental health issues amongst the healthcare workers, we felt it mandatory to start a mental health support program for healthcare workers, which has been launched under the supervision of Dr. Ashraf Jadar in the Beit al-Nur Center and has been launched at this convention. The future of the IMA, I believe the future IMA is a sleeping giant of an organization with so much more potential. However, the challenges that we face are membership. We need to increase our membership. The other challenge we face is succession planning. As you know, we have an immense amount of institutional knowledge and memory among our members, many of whom are getting on in age. It is imperative that we pass this on timelessly and effectively. And the current constitutional amendments and standard operating policies and procedures, together with future mentorship and leadership workshops for our members, will hopefully help with this, inshallah. In conclusion, at the outset as our aim as an incoming NEC, our aim was to ensure the successful continuation of the NEC's responsibilities and function, And apart from the many ongoing projects and activities of IMASA, we also wanted to focus on the operational and financial sustainability of the organization and to consolidate the governance, the operations, the compliance, the finances, and growth of IMASA. I hope and pray that we have achieved this to some degree. It's been an honor and privilege to have served as your president. I ask for forgiveness for any errors, omissions, or shortcomings. I thank my fellow NEC members for the invaluable support and assistance they have provided me during our tenure. I wish the incoming NEC all the best. May Allah grant you all the success, inshallah. Inshallah. Ameen. I thank everyone in the organization for their sterling, selfless, and dedicated work. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless, guide, and protect us and IMASA so that we may continue to fulfill our imana to serve His creation. Ameen. Jazakallah khairan. We'll now go on to the Secretary's report.
Shukran, Irshad. Assalamu alaikum. It is my honor to present my final Secretary's report for this period. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most beneficent, the most merciful, all praises are due to Allah, and universal salutations upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and companions. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am, in the interest of time, my report is available on the council group, and I'm going to, in the interest of time, summarize as much as I can as I go along under the various headings. So membership report, as mentioned by Irshad already, we currently have a total of 2,460 members, which is an increase from last year's 2,234. But the big problem is the loss of the young members and graduates who we sign up at the graduation dinners. So we have got a strategy going forward as to how to maybe retain or to increase that membership, which we will vote on in a few minutes. But that remains the problem, and it's something that we all have to address and we all have to try and work on. Durban branch report, specifically aimed at the theme that I've tried to go through in my report is playing to our strengths. So in Durban, we have Yasira, who is very passionate about eye care, and they've started specifically the IMASA Baitul Noor eye clinic at the premises in Brownsgrove, and they've managed to screen people both for spectacles as well as cataract screening. And this is something that should be initiated in all the branches. But here again, play to our strengths. Somebody who needs to be passionate about it must then take the cudgel and move forward. Johannesburg branch report. Unfortunately, the clinics had to be closed down and the mobile trailer moved to PE. The screening programs, however, continue, and in most of the branches, there are successful screening programs that are happening, and that is something that we need to build on as we go forward. Western Cape, as you heard, the dividend from the last Ahmed Al-Qadi dividend was used to purchase a building in Cape Town, which is to house an office, as well as the future dialysis unit. East Strand has a therapy project, which is the aim to assist disabled children. Clarkstorp has a telehealth project, which is quite successful and needs to be rolled out to other branches as well. And that is a legacy of COVID, which is something that with bad comes good. So that is something that we can definitely replicate in other branches as well. The loan project to patients is something that we see one of the exhibitors outside, and all the various branches can definitely become involved in this loan project, making sure that patients who require wheelchairs or other assistive aids, we can make available to them. In PE, cataract project continues and receives attention. The funding is a big problem with the cataracts, and there is a major backlog of cataracts throughout the country that needs to be addressed. We have to take a leaf out of the book of Gauteng and try and get that rolled out to the various projects, various provinces. Carolina, wheelchair and walking aids donations has happened, and with specific reference to the Carolina Muslim community. And they are taking the cudgel up by spurring on their local members to assist, something that we should also do everywhere. MAP, Muslim AIDS program, completed 27 years of service delivery and has reached an enormous amount of people. 28,000 HIV tests, HIV awareness campaigns, mobilized 35,000 people, conducted 76,000 TB and NCD screenings and referrals. mobilized 15,000 boys and men for male medical circumcisions, and provided treatment adherence support to 11,400 patients. So there is lots of good work being done and things that we can actually, when you're asked by people, what is it that you've done? What is it that IMA has done? Here's your answers. These are the things that we've done. In the IMA KZN clinics report, the average patients per month is in the order of 4,292, or about 4,300 patients. And the patients do contribute a small amount towards that, but this costs a lot of money to actually fund and to run. So this is where another avenue of support is required. The Beit Nur Center, where they do counseling face-to-face as well as helpline. The numbers are 744 for face-to-face and helpline 933, which is a little bit down on the previous numbers, but due to a shorter reporting period. However, there has been an order of 1,600 people helped, either face-to-face or telephonic. So there definitely is a big need to provide the service. Since the opening of the IMA Beit Nur Care Center in the last December till August or September, in the last 9 months, they've helped 23 patients, and they're now starting to break even. With the next couple of months is going to be the sort of the crux where we will look at breaking even and maybe even a profit. The aim is not necessarily to generate huge profits, but to ensure that people are served in the IMA Beit Nur Care Center. Renal dialysis, one of the flagships of the IMA at the moment, and the total number of patients is 73 for the current period, with 24 patients receiving Zakah, 11 patients receiving Lillah, 20 private patients, 2 cash patients, and in the various regions, PE 1, Ladysmith 1, Escort 2, Pietermaritzburg 2, Johannesburg 3, Cape Town 14, and Durban Tongaat 1 patient. So we are serving patients throughout the country with renal dialysis. In terms of marketing, if you haven't yet followed us on Facebook, Instagram, don't think we're on TikTok yet, but we'll get there, inshallah. And YouTube, and Twitter. So you're the reason why our numbers haven't increased significantly. So please find us, follow us, especially the young ones who've got fast fingers. So 5,100 followers on Facebook, Twitter 808, Instagram 2,966, and YouTube 540 followers. All of these things is the way that we can communicate. Websites, the new design of the website, as you've heard, the website is much easier, imasa.org.za, with a new website which will be going live very soon. In Ahmed Al-Qadi hospital report, what's interesting is the added growth. The initial planning we thought was sufficient, but subsequently the Department of Health in KZN has licensed the cardiac unit, including a cardiac theatre, cath lab, and coronary care beds, which will now take up existing space, which will be redesigned in a different way. They've appointed a new town planner, to apply for rezoning within the surrounding area, and they'll be able to go up to 6 floors. And inshallah, they're continuing to show very good profits. The Durban student group has been very active, and something that we should be able to do in many of the other branches is the khutbah programs. Interesting comment from somebody recently was that every Muslim doctor or every Muslim healthcare professional will attend the Jummah at least once a year. At least once a year, if you're not too busy. And if we can time everybody at the same time and have an annual IMA khutbah in every region, you can get that message across at that particular time to every single Muslim healthcare professional who will be in that Jummah. So that's another way that we need to continue. And certainly with the students doing this in Durban, we need to learn from them. FEMA report, there are many projects FEMA does. The Save Lives campaign, which will be coming up in the end of the month, 30th of September. The Save Vision campaign, and a few other of their campaigns we can certainly replicate. Green Crescent, South Africa has been partnered with Turkey and the International Federation of Green Crescents, and specifically aimed at addiction and how to combat that in our communities. And they're doing quite good work under the leadership of MAP. In the Highveld, they've done 3 specific things: careers evening at Middelburg, medical and adult health screening, and then a first aid training course at Middelburg Muslim School. The Durban Student Wing, important to play to your strengths again. They have optometry and audiology as their focus points, but they also have optometry schools there. So therefore, if you're training people who are doing optometry and they're going to go back to their various provinces as members of IMA already, they can take up the cudgel in the various provinces and further deliver an optometry program. Free State, we understand, is a branch by proxy, branch by telephone, run by a very heavy-handed individual who has managed to get the students to rally around. And in August, they had the Free State medical health screenings, nurturing health one screening at a time. Certainly a logo or sentiment that we can take forward to the rest of our branches as well. And here again, playing to strengths, optometry screening, because they've got optometry students, and I think we should definitely build to our strengths. So going forward, just to build on what Irshad has said as well, and from a secretary's perspective, standardized reporting should be developed, and I will try and assist the new incoming secretary. This will generate meaningful data from one council meeting to another, but will also make available data for the sponsorship purposes. The growth in all branches with cross-pollination of ideas can be seen, and the screening programs are successful and should be standardized. Shukran, thank you very much for having me for the last 2 years.
Thank you, Riaz. We now have the Treasurer's Report by Faisal.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Zakira will go through the financials in detail, but I just thought I'd use this opportunity. Just, we spent about half an hour with the students now, just asking for feedback. Why aren't we retaining memberships? Why aren't you all involved? And the feedback about the perceptions of the IMA among the students and them hearing from other adults or other healthcare professionals, which was sad for us to hear, was almost a very negative. Yes, we can say they got it wrong, we're not like this, and clearly there are some real misconceptions. The question is, does that explain why, at the moment, only 44% of registered IMA members have paid their fees? And is that why post-ComServe we are not seeing young people come through? Treasurer, why am I saying that? Because it reflects in the numbers. Smaller branches need money, and we need to allocate that. We still have to discuss the increase in fees. If we're not going to increase membership fees, then how do we allocate money to small branches so that you can grow? So the responsibility becomes on each of us here to speak to people within our branches and our colleagues to be paying up. We have to, as has been mentioned, change the image and the branding of the IMA so that whatever perceptions were in the past have to change. Allied Health have valid gripes that we have ignored them. The students are saying it, and we're hearing it from the others as well, that this is so. No enough time to go through all the negatives, just to say each of us here has some responsibility to start changing things. A lot of the finance stuff has been spoken about but Zakir will do the numbers. Just before I forget, inshallah, if all the branch executives can just meet us at 10 to 2 before the next session starts, just to put a name and face so that when we're discussing things, we know you guys have met us or the new NEC from Durban and the old NEC, and we have met you. Make our communication a bit easier. Also, alhamdulillah, we had mooted the concept of an academic excellence awards for specifically for excellence in academia. Al Baraka Bank have come up with a sponsorship of 10,000 Rand annually for that prize. So we're going to ask the seniors among us, retired academics, to work together to pick someone that we can honor annually with a specific on academia. So inshallah, that should come. In terms of the finances, clearly membership collection, if we're not collecting 56%, it puts a strain on finances. You can now do Zoom. The Zoom is available for absolutely every branch to do CMEs and generate income that way. So that should not be an excuse. Other than that, the finances look pretty decent because of the dividends coming in from Ahmed Al-Qadi. There are some big movements of money, 2 million for the property in Cape Town. Clearly, we send money for relief, etc. If I can ask Zakira, maybe just to put up the finances quickly and go through that. So Zakira is going to talk through line items. If you have questions, as Zakira may let me tell you about why. Zakira is not, we can answer the why if there's anything that stands out for you. But clearly in terms of what went where and all of that, she can present and answer.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, I'm here to present the finances, but I would like to mention a few points before I get into the numbers. IMASA is not just about the numbers, and what do I mean about that? IMASA does a lot of work that does not carry a monetary value, but it significantly impacts the communities in which we serve. Activities like outreach programs, community involvement, webinars, CPD programs, free screenings, referrals and facilitation, free consultations, discounted operations, engagement with ulama, and educational programs. All these items do not carry a huge monetary value or any monetary value sometimes. There is a hadith that says, the best of people are those who are the most beneficial to others. And this means we all have the potential to be amongst the best of people. Especially as a healthcare professional, you have a unique set of skills that you can use for the benefit of others. And how can you get involved as a healthcare practitioner? So we don't only want your money, although the money helps. We need your time and your expertise. And some of the ways in which you can get involved are as follows. Healthcare services. You can offer your medical expertise to provide free consultations and screenings during community health camps or outreach programs, and this can help in early disease detection and management. You can also assist in coordinating referrals for patients who require specialized medical care beyond your expertise. You can help to navigate the healthcare system and facilitate access to necessary treatments. The state of the healthcare system is very poor, and when we have our people, dignified people from our communities like APAs and Molanas and Muazzins and others coming to us in desperation after having been on a waiting list for months, sometimes it could be too late to intervene at that point. Discounted operations. You could collaborate with hospitals or clinics to provide discounted or pro bono surgeries or medical procedures for individuals who cannot afford them. And we have done this previously, but we need more of it. CPD programs. You can organize or participate in CPD programs, workshops, or seminars to keep the medical community updated on the latest medical advancements and ethical considerations. Webinars. You can host webinars or online educational sessions on medical topics relevant to the community, and this can help to disseminate important health information to a wider audience. Radio programs. You can be a guest on one of our radio programs. Ulama engagement. You can foster a strong relationship between the medical community and ulama by organizing dialogues or forums to discuss medical ethics, bioethics, and healthcare issues from an Islamic perspective. Education. You can contribute to educational initiatives by developing health education materials, conducting workshops on health literacy, or mentoring a medical student interested in community medicine. Fundraising. You can assist in organizing fundraising events to support the activities and ensuring the sustainability of free and low cost healthcare services. Networking. You can build relationships with other healthcare professionals and organizations. Research and data collection. You can participate in research projects focused on healthcare issues within the community, helping to gather data that can form evidence based healthcare strategies. Volunteer recruitment. You can encourage your fellow healthcare professionals to join in the activities and actively participate in its programs and initiatives. Remember that your involvement can have a significant impact on the well being of the community that you serve, and your expertise as a healthcare professional can contribute to the upliftment of the community and the success of the Islamic Medical Association's mission to provide healthcare, education, and support those in need. Now to the numbers. IMASA balance sheet. So property, plant and equipment is an oxygenator that was purchased by the Johannesburg branch. There are no other fixed assets. A 1.6 million rand loan relates to the loan to Islamic Medical Association Baitul Nur Trust for the purchase of the shares. Cash and cash equivalents relates to bank balances, and payables relates to audit fees and relief zakat. Income statement. Under income, the 2022 calendar was sponsored by 274 investments of 60,000. The first convention after COVID was held last year in Durban, which made a profit of 746,000. 25% was transferred to the branch and the balance to NEC. There were no relief efforts in 2022, and in 2023, 630,000 was transferred to Gift of the Givers for Turkey and Syria. The An-Nahal investment of 40,000 was transferred to Al Baraka as per the previous council request. Profit income relates to An-Nahal 6,000, Al Baraka 17,000, and Cape Town call account 36,000. The balance in the Al Baraka account is 116,000. It's good to note that there has been an increase of 15% in membership fees compared to the previous year, and this could be attributed to the following factors. Number one, an increase in fees. Number two, timely statements and invoices being sent out along with follow-ups which encourage members to pay on time. Number three, an increased number of members going onto the debit order system. Number four, improved retention of the current members by conducting CMEs, webinars, community outreach, and other community engagements. Under expenses, there was an increase of 37% in community outreach projects, which is a positive indicator of the commitments to engaging with community, which could attract new members who are interested in supporting and participating in these projects. An increase in CME expenditures signifies an increase in webinars, seminars, CPD programs nationally, which can boost member engagement and encourage new membership. FEMA fees of $600 was paid in October 2022. BDB service fees amounted to 11,000 in 2022, and this is the cost of having members on a debit order system. The benefit of having guaranteed paid up fees far outweighs the cost. Travel relates to the flight cost for the IMA representative at the FEMA conference, and zakat relates to Ruya project, circumcision program, outreach program, student bursary, and frail care donations. And that's it from me.
Just on that, please, can I ask if all of you have if you've changed your contact details? One of the problems Tasneem, who does the membership, says is afterwards people come back to her and say, I didn't receive an invoice, I didn't get a statement. Please, if you've changed your details, can you update it with Tasneem? She's at the registration desk, so that we don't have this issue of people saying we didn't get invoice, and then, you know, it's embarrassing sometimes for someone to call you and say, you know, you haven't paid your fees. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah Shakir and Faisal for the comprehensive report. Are there any questions from the three reports? My report, Secretary's report, and Treasurer's report. Okay, can we have those reports adopted? Ali Suleiman proposes. Dr. Iqbal Rawat seconders. Jazakallah. So now on to the next thing on our agenda is the constitutional amendments. This needs to be ratified at the membership. Zakira, can we put up the amendments quickly, please? These amendments were sent out on the 1st of September to all members for your perusal and comments. We had a handful of comments which we addressed. So we need the general membership to ratify this. So if you remember from from it being sent to you that all the red items are the changes or the additions. I don't think we have time to go through each one. But are there any specific items or changes that you have any concerns about? If not, I'd like this to be adopted, please. The aim of the amendments and additions was just to provide more clarity and details to the structures and the functioning of the organization. And also there were a lot of resolutions passed over the years since 2009 that needed to be officially incorporated into the Constitution. So do I have any comments or any objections? Dr. Mohammed Khan? But it was sent out to you 3 weeks ago on the 21st. Yeah. Okay, then we have an adoption, and Sister Ali, and we have a seconder, Solly Suleiman. Okay. Jazakallah. Okay, membership fees. We have two proposals. After discussion at the council meeting, we have the first proposal is that although we haven't had a membership fee increase for 2023, there is a proposal to encourage members to join and to encourage members to pay their membership fee, that we do not have an increase for 2024. So can I have, are there any other opposing proposals? Okay, can I have a proposer for that? Prof. Anwar Hussain proposes. Seconder? Dr. Osman. Yes. That's correct, yeah. Sorry. Please. 65% collection. That's correct, yeah. We'll have to try, inshallah. Yeah, also the convention profit will go towards the expenses for the NEC. Yes, it is. Preliminary information suggests that, yeah.
So can I respond to this, Irshad? Sure.
Yeah.
So Uncle Yusuf, we looked at this in detail at the council meeting. You are right, there's a potential risk, but we anticipate a significant profit from this convention already. So already we anticipate that we'll cover our expenses. Plus we have some reserves from the previous convention. So I think it's a strategic decision. People are struggling. And then it only needs to be for 1 year, because next year we can change our minds. So our potential loss is, we worked it out, what's it like, 50,000 rands extra if we increase it by 100 rands. So I think we can cover that for the year, and that was why we decided to take a strategic decision. If we get 50 more members to pay up, it covers that potential loss. Even less than 50, like 40 members to pay up.
Okay, thank you, Shoaib. Okay, so the second proposal regarding the membership fees is that all young professionals that are less than 5 years qualified will be eligible for a 50% discount on membership fees. There again is to encourage payment of the membership fees. So all young professionals who are within 5 years of graduation will be entitled to a 50% discount on membership fees. Can I have a proposal for that?
I think that's a really good option, because that's what I was going to bring up, especially for the post-ComServe doctors. This year they were looking to get CPD points, but they aren't actually IMA members, and their reasoning was because of their exorbitant fees, and they're just starting off their practices. So if we do have a reduced fee, or even looking at the intern level to have a reduced fee for medical interns, we could have more doctors signing up with IMA, because the main reason that people are coming to me for is the exorbitant fee of the 1,300 to register.
Okay. I have two hands up there.
Assalamu alaikum. I have to totally disagree with what was said earlier by one of our colleagues. I think that maybe we should uniform and maybe decrease the amount to maybe 1,200. So in a way, there's a selling point that it's 100 Rand a month. Because I mean, 1,200 Rand is not a lot, if we have to be honest. I mean, it's less than a packet of groceries. Like, yeah. So I think that's the way. If we drop it, maybe we can increase, and then if we can freeze the price for a few years, maybe we'll be able to increase the members that pay.
So are you suggesting for the young professionals?
I'm suggesting for all. I think that's the best selling point, considering we always lose the graduates. Always.
Yeah, I was just reminded now by Sister Yasira that the first year graduates who are doing the internship, there's no fee for them. So membership is free for that first year, post-graduation. Shoaib?
So, I mean, this again, it comes out of the historical context. Remember, the fees were 1,200 rands, like not that long ago. And we didn't have more people paying. And it's 100 rands and 120 rands is not a big difference. The reason we propose dropping the fees to 50% is, as Yasira says, that all the graduates get it free for the first 2 years of the internship. And when those years are over, we contact them and says, okay, it's time to pay up. And then our conversion rate was like 4%. So we're hoping that if you drop it to 50%, that conversion rate, if it goes up to 8%, we cover our money. If it goes up to 50%, we make a substantial gain and we retain those people. So I think it's a decision which we can review on an annual basis. And I really think we should embark on that specific venture.
Okay.
I think my comment is not so much for like the youth as such. I mean, I do agree with making the fee lower for young people would be more appealing. But I think speaking from an allied perspective, it's difficult for, I think, my fellow allies to join when we are underrepresented in conventions, in the outreach, in all of that stuff. So I mean, I try as hard as I can to be a part of the things, but it's difficult to get the allies to buy in to CPD stuff or to pay their fees when there isn't enough for us here. I mean, we had one OT speaking at the whole convention. No nurses, no speech therapists, no audiologists. So for me, I feel like the appeal to retain the allies as well is also to maybe just think of not so much the fees, but also what is there for us to contribute in the IMA, because I feel like that's a difficulty for us. Solutions is, so I mean, yeah, like the CPD stuff. I mean, I can fill in the forms, but not a lot of it is OT related. So it doesn't hold weight. When HPCSA is auditing me, I need to have stuff that's relative to what I'm implementing in the workplace. So I think like CPD stuff in like in this convention also, there wasn't a lot for allies to sort of, it didn't really land some of the sessions. But I also think going forward, like even the outreach stuff, there's a lot that needs to happen in like addiction and mental health from an OT perspective. I know that there are some outreaches, but I think involving more like CP and wheelchair stuff, involving the OTs more and involving the other allies. I mean, we had one bio that spoke, but I mean, from the biokinetics point of view, from PT point of view, there wasn't a lot. So I think that needs to be represented a bit more.
Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to add to that as a fellow allied professional. So a practical example, for example, now is that there's first 2 years of internship is free for new graduate doctors. Us, we start earning first in ComServe, and you have to pay off things from when you were studying. So it needs to be made more practical, please.
Jazakallah for that. The two young ladies you just spoke now. But I think it's important for the allied healthcare workers to come on board onto IMA for you to make the changes. If you are on board, we can try and get you programs, CPD accredited, CMEs, 20-hour screenings. We don't really know what you want. So if there's an allied on board, then we can try and make those changes from our side.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We now have a national Zoom, and that's open to all branches. And we really, and we have in the past encouraged the allies to come on board. The physios, the optoms, the biokinetists, you're welcome to come on, start your own CPD programs. Initially, it's via Zoom, it's free. You can get an accreditation, get a group together, come to us, come with a program, and we'd gladly find a spot for you, just like the optoms and the dentals have done.
Assalamu alaikum. It's exactly the same as the previous person has said. We had a passionate dentist, Dr. Rahima, and she made our dental program happen this year. So all the allied, if they just get together and have one passionate person, inshallah, the whole program can be changed to suit your certain discipline. As far as the fees go, I think 1,200 Rand is not a lot of money in today's time. And we should have a drive here while we're at the convention to sign the debit orders. Because the debit orders, it really becomes easy for the IMA themselves. And for us, it's just one other item that goes off our accounts. That's one thing. The other thing is the students, as far as they are, they should start to pay from the first year so they start to see value in it. It might be a reduced rate, but they should see value and they should sign the debit order. In that way, we already have them in the system and they're used to then paying for what they get in. Usually people appreciate more when they pay for something. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Okay, can we get our proposal at the moment is that for the students, young professionals, first 5 years after graduation, a 50% reduction. Can I see some heads being shaken.
On a monthly basis, send out, like today, that Molana gave us a link for artificial intelligence, something to stimulate these guys and say the IMA is now going to give out, if we have a central place where information can be given out, and they say this is an active organization and get it 100 Rand a month from them then, or half the amount. I don't think we're giving them enough to say that we can become active members. The IMA Congress is fantastic.
Okay.
And then all those other activities, which most of them, fortunately, the students are carrying on with it.
Okay, Jazakallah. There is a QR code that you can scan in to help you pay your fees. But can we move on now? So the proposal is that...
I move we accept that proposal.
Okay, we have a proposer for that proposal. Can I have a seconder, please? Faisal Suleiman seconds. Okay, Jazakallah for that. On to general. Are there any general matters that need to be discussed? Okay, I see there's none. And now on to the main event, the election of a new NEC. I am glad and honored to call upon our electoral officer, none other than Dr. Iqbal Rawat, who will conduct the proceedings of the election of the new NEC.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. After conducting the very successful elections in Harare, Zimbabwe, I promise you a fair and free election. And last night I was in deep discussion with the Independent Electoral Commission. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. For the post of President of the IMA, may I have a nomination? Dr. Faisal Suleiman. Dr. Faisal Suleiman, do you accept the nomination? The seconder, Sister Hani Ali, who has been intensively portrayed in the latest newspapers. Thank you for your conduct in behalf of the IMA. Jazakallah. Any other nominations? In the absence of any other nominations, I declare Dr. Faisal Suleiman, President of the IMA, Islamic Medical Association. For the post of Vice President, may I have a nomination? Sorry, AK Peer. Dr. Peer? He's accepted the nomination. Okay. Jazakallah. Any other nominations? Sorry, I need a seconder for Dr. Peer. Sister Hani Ali? May I have any other nominations? Sorry. In the absence of any other nomination, Dr. A.K. Peer is duly elected as the Vice President of the IMA. I have pushed up the election of the Treasurer to the number 3 post. Whoever is the incumbent will be now known as Enoch. May I have a nomination for the Treasurer, please? Dr. Imtiaz Osman, valiant and seasoned Treasurer of the IMA for many years. I remember he never gave us a cent for anything, party or anything. Dr. Imtiaz Osman is nominated by Dr. Faisal Suleiman. May I have a seconder, please? Yourself, Dr. Joseph. Any other nominations for Treasurer? Easy? Okay. So Dr. Imtiaz Osman is duly elected. Now for the post of Secretary. Solly. Wonderful, wonderful. He got an enormous team that will do tremendous work. We are in for trouble for 2024. No laxity, no laziness. Sorry, guys. Time has come. Wake up. I don't think there's a nomination against him, is there? Anyone there? There was there. Truth to date. Date to truth. Okay. Sorry. Yours is the nomination, Faisal. For Solly Suleiman. Dr. Irshad Musa, seconder. Secretary. Dr. Solly Suleiman is duly elected. And finally, the Assistant Secretary. Dr. Adil Ahmad was. Adil is here. Dr. Ahmad Bashat. It's a heart-to-heart talk, my brother. You can see he did a magnificent job, worked very hard, and him and the convention team under the leadership of Brother Shoaib have laid out an excellent and superb. And I myself would like to support Dr. Bashat, but that's not allowed. We have a nomination for Dr. Ahmad Bashat. But who nominated him? Dr. Adil Ahmad, fine. And Dr. Riaz Ismail II. Thank you. Any other nominations for the post of Assistant Secretary? In the absence of any other nomination, I declare Dr. Ahmad Bashat as the Assistant Secretary.
Uncle Iqbal, let's make Adil continue, inshallah. I think he'll do a good job.
Oh, sorry, you don't accept.
No, let Adil do it, inshallah.
Okay. Adil, can you stand up, please? Dr. Adil Ahmad, the Lion of the Eastern Cape. Look, either way, it's Adil Ahmad or Ahmad Bashar, right? So look, I would suggest, and this is a very humble suggestion, we have both as assistant secretaries. And if the House agrees, because I feel the talent we have is already on the ship. And being an old veteran, you know, Dr. J.M. Hussein is here, so many others. So if we have, for the first time, 2 assistant secretaries, provincial-wise and that's it. Okay. So duly elected are both. Just that I wanted the nomination for Brother Adil, Faisal Suleiman, and yourself as the second. So that concludes the election. Jazakallah khair. I wish the incoming NEC, inshallah, great barakah in their work and continue to take us forward into the future. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Okay, Jazakallah. Can we close with Surah Al-Asr? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal-Asr, innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa aminu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Thank you, everybody.